it is time. This is April 1st. My Society of Idea Collectors and somewhat my Creative Year art journals are bursting at the seams. Now I made them Midori style so that I can remove the pages and put them in the custom binder that I ordered from Shannon Green. And I love this custom binder. There's nothing that I'm going to do to it. It's perfect the way it is. She sent me some extra vinyl here. I might need to use that to strengthen the sides. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. What I want to do is take January and probably through March. I might have a little of March left in maybe the last 2 weeks of March left in my Society of Idea Collectors. But I want to take them out and put them in here. At least temporary, in the same way with my Creative Year. So let's see what I can do here. I start off by removing my January, February pages from my Society of Idea Collectors. I'm going to leave March in there for now, but I will be working on finishing up March pages. And I will be working on my April pages. So I set my Society of Idea Collectors aside, and I get out my Creative Year and remove January and February's project from my Creative Year. I have some mind mapping that I'm going to leave in there. Some other projects that I'm working on will be left in my Creative Year. Now, I decided to organize everything by month, and I am using both my Creative Year January's and Society of Idea Collectors January and February's. I kind of incorporate them, but look how thick that is already. Wow. And I am using Shannon Green's custom binder. I'm really liking it. Really liking how this is going to turn out. And here I'm just finished my March Doodle Challenge, so I'm putting that in there. Everything here will be bound by the time I get finished. These rubber bands are temporary solutions, just to hold everything together loose leaf until I get it organized like I want it. Very happy with how this is turning out. Now I'm going to work on the April calendar pages for my Society of Idea Collectors, and I always carve a little month stamp. You can see where I'm marking it off. Transferred the word April, and I do this in what I call a very homemade, handwritten, I call it a fence board carving. Like you would see something carved on barnwood or something like that. It's very handmade, and I really like it that way. Carving it all out. Now you can see you missed the part in here where I cut the little calendar squares and I made little tulips, blossoms out of them instead of putting them on my syllables journal pages. I just decided to do it in my calendar, use those little calendar squares on my calendar. I'm stamping out the month April on every page, and here I'm just stamping out the word calendar. I really do not do a lot of planning. I'm really of the same thought as Dede on that, but I do like to jot down notes of things that happened during the month. So I kind of like to go back and look at an overview of the month. Now I'm just marking off the margins. I call it artsying it all up. And I do find that the Society of Idea Collectors is the place where I have best been able to
do any type of planning or calendar pages and actually keep up with it. And I think it's because it's a part of Society of Idea Collectors. I've tried several times to work in planners, and I get the first month done and I set it aside and completely forget about it. So I'm just doodling around my little tulip flowers. They look so cheerful. We are so ready for spring. So ready for spring. We had snow on April 1st. We were laughing that the little Easter bunny had to wear snowshoes and hide the Easter eggs in snowbanks here in Nebraska. So I'm just about finished with this, and I'm going to, I stamped April 11th and April 20th there. I will go back. You will see I'll go back and paint those mistakes out. Now I have the hang of it, but I do notice that I didn't stamp my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday days on there. I might go back in and do that yet. Just never occurred to me to do that. I have day stamps that I carved that match the same font as April. There, I'm painting out my mistakes. Looks much better. Very happy with these cheerful calendar pages. Now I'm going to do the first week in April. I call these my syllables pages, journal pages for the Society of Idea Collectors. And I decided to use that wonderful, wonderful piece of art that was sent to me by Lynn in Canada. I just love it. She said it was alcohol ink on a piece of glossy paper. This painty paper that I'm collaging down was also sent to me in Happy Mail. I have no idea who sent it to me, but I find that it really is the right choice for this page. It just sets off the background. I'm using my glue book solution of 3 parts Elmer's glue and a little bit of less than 1 part of water. Thin it down just a little bit. Now I'm just trimming off the edges. I really do like how this page came out. This will be my April, the first week in April, my April 1 week. I decide I need a little bit more blue on the right edge there. Love how that's turning out. Trimming it up again. Getting everything nice and even. Using the heat gun to dry my page off so that it's not so warped. That note card with the fancy border up at the top was also sent to me in Happy Mail, and I really like how it really just complements the ink drawing, using some Robin's blue ink along the edges. Artsy and everything up on this page. I'm going to use some double-sided tape to attach the piece of art and the note card rather than a wet glue. And you'll see that I'm using the technique that Aunt Beck taught us of just folding over a piece of that tape until you get the piece where you want it on the page, and then you just pull the tape out from behind. I really like that. Now I use my little spring bird that I really did that in March, but thanks spring, that's my journaling on this page, and I have pulled some elements out of the syllables binder for the other 4 weeks. Now I'm putting everything back into my Society of Idea Collectors journal, getting everything organized. Some notes there on YouTube. Now I decide to work on March pages, and I lose some of my content here, but you can see where I'm just starting to finish them off.
Here is my finished March section, my March pages. These are the syllables pages and the calendar section. I finished filling out I just made little notes just to remind me of what happened during those days. And then on the last page that I had left over, I did a little glue booking. Just 2 pages. And here's week 4 of March. And then I had an extra page. This is my April syllables page. I really like how this turned out. I really do like this. And then I have week 2 ready to go. This is my calendar section. I made little tulips out of the little calendar squares. And I made bobby pin embellishments out of some extra little bunny stamps and Easter eggs that I had left over. And then you get into my Society of Idea Collectors section. This is the binder, custom binder that I got from Shannon Green. Can you see why I wanted it to wrap around now? Look, there are January and February of my creative year and Society of Idea Collectors, and look how thick it is. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. I will probably bind these. I know these rubber bands do not last long. I will probably do a pamphlet stitch into a spine and bind them down. But that's for another day. This is January. You've seen all of these. January. This is January of my creative year. Did some mind mapping in here of the words. This is a pocket letter that Lucia McGill sent to me. This is my Miss Macy that I was doing on my little mini scroll. And then I get into February of the Syllables Project, Society of Idea Collectors Syllables Project. February. In the February 29 Faces Challenge, I did eraser stamps. Faces on my eraser stamps. I carved these. This was my February Society of Idea Collectors section. This is the March Doodle Challenge that was just completed. I just hooked it on to the Faces project. It will go in there. Here we're getting into February of my creative year, which was colors. I made a list and did some art journaling pages. Mind mapped the color red, mind mapped the color blue, did some journaling. And here are my experiments with tar gel and embossed strippage. I'm still doing some experiments with that, so I don't have all the pages in here. Eventually, all the sections will be bound and put in this custom binder for 2018. I'm really excited to see how this is going to turn out. I expect it to grow very large. I'm really happy with my custom binder. There's nothing that I would do to this. It's just perfect. There's not going to be any painting or drawing or anything done with it. I love it the way it is. I am going to temporarily put another band across this way just to keep those loose pages in it. So now I have my Society of Idea Collectors cut up to the April section. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I'm really loving these pages. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next page.